balancing spirituality and indulgence. Many people believe that in order to be spiritual, you need to adhere to a strict way of life. You need to live by a certain set of rules if you want to lay claim to being spiritual. If you are aiming to achieve ascension or enlightenment, then I agree that you need to fully commit and be disciplined. But what about all the people who are just looking for a happier, more fulfilling life through spirituality? Should the same discipline be applied? Discipline is such a highly regarded trait in our society. But does discipline make us better or more limited? Is there a point where discipline does more harm than good? Whoever said that you have to be a vegetarian in order to be spiritual? Where is it written that you can only listen to relaxing music if you are spiritual? Someone told me a few weeks ago that they are completely avoiding sugar because they are now on a spiritual path. Curious as to what zero sugar intake has to do with being on your spiritual path. I asked the obvious question, why? The person gave me a strange look, as if to say, isn't it obvious? I never got an answer, as the person turned away to start a conversation with someone else, and the moment was gone. That same week, I participated in a group meditation on indulgences. In the meditation, you had to think of something you indulge in. As you can imagine, many things popped into my mind, ranging from a good novel to eating a bag of chips, enjoying a glass of wine, coffee, chocolate. Needless to say, it's a long list. It made me smile just thinking about it. It's the little things in life that can bring me so much joy. So while I was sitting there smiling and feeling good about myself, the meditation shifted. All of a sudden, I was asked to imagine myself overindulging in my indulgence. For example, if your indulgence is chocolate, you eat yourself sick. It was at this point that I was beginning to struggle with the meditation. I have many indulgences that I allow myself because I am of the opinion that life should be enjoyed. I also know from experience that when I allow myself these indulgences and feel good about it, I never feel the need to overindulge. In the end, I chose to stop participating in this particular meditation because I did not want to imagine myself overindulging in anything. However, I can see the benefit in a meditation like this. If you have a true addiction to something that you just can't stop overindulging in, the key word here is overindulging. There is a big difference between a life-enhancing indulgence and harmful overindulgence. This is important to understand because thinking that all indulgences are bad for you is a very unbalanced approach to spirituality. What I have come to realize is that some people seem to think that if you restrict yourself from anything pleasurable, you become more spiritual. The foundation for this belief can be found in many religions, which teach us that discipline and suffering make you a more spiritual being. In my opinion, to restrict or deny yourself does not make you more or less spiritual, nor does it fast-track you down the spiritual path. I believe that we are here to experience life, not take the joy out of it because we choose a spiritual path. I am a great believer in balance. For example, now and then I listen to heavy metal music. At first, I was reluctant to share this bit of truth about myself because I know from experience that some spiritually minded people frown upon this type of indulgence. And that is exactly why I decided to share this tight bit of information. I know that I enjoy it, and so I refuse to deny this part of myself because I love and accept myself enough to own this indulgence and feel good about it. Does it make me less spiritual? Certainly not. It just makes me someone who can appreciate spirituality in all things. Do I become a less centered and clear person if I enjoy a good steak? Absolutely not. But I do spare a grateful thought to the cow. Do I become a less loving person if I allow anger or frustration to No way. We are multifaceted individuals with a huge array of emotions that are to be experienced, not labeled as good and bad. You don't need to suppress the so-called bad emotions simply because they don't fit the worldly view of being a spiritual person. At our core, we are all spiritual beings, regardless of how we live our life. If you are not pursuing enlightenment, then enjoy your spiritual journey with a healthy dose of balance. Stop being critical of yourself just because you've eaten 2 cookies instead of 1, or because you've enjoyed a glass of wine. You're not a less spiritual person if you enjoy dancing in a nightclub or reading a good thing. Personally, I try to live my life by keeping these 2 simple rules in the forefront of my 1. Harm no one. 2. Spread love and light wherever I go. Everything else in life is open for discussion and available to be experienced. The choice is mine, EO, or yours. So in the spirit of being spiritual, don't forget to have fun and do whatever makes your heart sing. Take the limit off what it means to be spiritual. Remove the judgments. They don't serve your highest evolution. Being balanced is a healthy and wonderful way to live. Blessings, we are thymus. We are the collective of ascended masters. You open yourselves up to that which you know is bringing you into a higher vibrational state, and you attempt to close yourselves off from that which you know will bring you down. You know certain things will bring you down vibrationally because of your past experience, and sometimes you hope that you will have a different experience than previous times, but the hope is not enough to create a different experience for you. But it is good for you to hope and to make those attempts and to have a different experience of something, rather than asking something outside of you to change. You are the change makers, but the change is occurring inside of you so that you may shift to a different reality that reflects that change to you. You are not just there to create change politically or through tearing down old economic structures and building up new ones. You are not just there to build new schools so that you have better educational systems. First, you must make peace with where you are and where humanity is. You must make peace with whatever does exist, and that includes your own thoughts and your own feelings. And when you can do that, you can choose from a more informed place, and you can choose consciously. Many people do not choose consciously, but rather they go along with what everyone else is choosing. And those of you who are awake know that just because everyone else chooses something doesn't mean it's right for you. It is important for you to be able to navigate through these experiences and these choices without developing a jaded sensibility. You must be able to choose what is right for you without looking down your nose at others who are choosing something else, even if they are choosing something that you know and they know will lower their vibration. They may not use those words, but they know that they will go into negative emotion, and they do it anyway. Or they know it will affect their finances or their health in a negative way, and they do it anyway. And so, those of you who are awake must avoid using the label of sheep to describe those people. Even if they technically are asleep, they are still a part of your experience and a part of you. And they are there to be helped by you, not shunned by you. Now, when it comes to your own choices, it is smart and efficient to continue to choose that which puts you into a higher vibrational state. And it is also always a good idea for you to be able to move past guilt and regret from those times when you chose something that did put you in a lower vibrational state. And it is also good for you to also recognize the importance of the existence of that which is lower vibrational in nature. You want to make peace with everything as it is and not run away from anything or attempt to abolish anything that does exist, because everything serves a purpose, or else it would not exist, and everything is source, and everything is love, and everything is you. And when you start to navigate through your life in these ways, you will begin to know yourselves as masters. You will begin to feel the ascension happening within you, and because of all of the choices that you make with your lovely free will, not only are you leading through the example that you set to other humans, but you are also leading through the thoughts you are thinking, the ways you are feeling and vibrating, and the beautiful fifth dimensional beings you are becoming. That is all for now. We are Thymus. We are the collective of ascended masters, and we are always amongst you.